What's up, y'all? At this point of the NASCAR season, I'm starting to think that I'm the reason why some of these drivers aren't performing very well, as we see with last week's best bet of Chase Elliott to top 3, not even coming close to hitting. He ran near the middle of the field all day and wound up finishing 14th. One of our other top 10s also wasn't even close, with Eric Almirola, who was somebody I thought would run really well at Richmond, didn't even finish inside the top 20. The rest of the card did pretty good, however, with Austin Dillon cracking the top 10 on the very last lap, Kevin Harvick beating Alex Bowman, and our outright of Kevin Harvick almost hitting, with him finishing just behind Denny Hamlin over the last few laps. Well, that card's behind us, however, as we stay in Virginia, and we're heading to Martinsville for the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 400. Without further ado, here's my entire betting card for Saturday night's race. Sportsbooks are definitely slow playing the market for this race this week, so this weekend's betting card is starting off a little bit different, and I'm going with a group matchup and picking Kevin Harvick at plus 270 to defeat Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, and my arch nemesis, Brad Keselowski. Yes, Brad Keselowski among this group is by far the most accomplished, but he and I are just not friends, and he's been pretty crappy on the 2022 season. When looking at the group other than Keselowski, it's quite clear that Kevin Harvick is the most consistent of them, with his worst finish being 17th over the last 6 races. Conversely, Ross Chastain's best finish over that span has been 17th, with the other 5 finishes all being outside the top 20. Tyler Reddick, yes, he finished 8th here in the spring last year, but the other 3 races that he's ran in the Cup Series have an average finish of around 19th or 20th. Next on the betting card, I'm going with the race favorite, but not going with his outright. I'm heading to the top 3 market, where you can get Martin Truex Jr. at plus 195. He's simply been amazing at this track, winning 3 of the last 5 races here. He only has 3 finishes outside the top 5 in the last 10 at Martinsville, which is freaking ridiculous. And he's coming on strong after the disappointing start to the season, with 3 consecutive top 10s and a race last week in Richmond, which saw him almost win, where he also led 80 laps. He's the favorite at plus 550, so getting him at close to 2-1 for 2 extra finishing positions is the move this weekend for Martin Truex. Moving on to the required outright pick of the race, I will preface it by saying I will be betting Ryan Blaney and Christopher Bell once again, as I will continue to do so until each of them hits. With that said, however, this week I'm going with somebody who's extremely hot right now, and that's William Byron at plus 1,000 to win the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 400. He's finished top 5 in 3 of the last 5 races at Martinsville. He was the 4th fastest car in both races at this track last year. He just won the Truck Series on Wednesday night. He shoulda, coulda won in Richmond, and has top 5'd in 2 of the last 3 races in the 2022 season. He's been one of the most consistent drivers on the season. He's 2nd in driver rating, and he's been the fastest Hendrick car on a consistent basis throughout the 2022 year. Now on to our best bet for the week. I'm going with a driver matchup that I really like, and that's Ryan Blaney to finish ahead of Kyle Busch at minus 112. Looking at their performances at Martinsville, we see they've both been fairly successful, having an average finish inside the top 10 over the last 10 races. Over the last 6 races, however, Ryan Blaney has 4 top 5s, whereas Kyle Busch has just 2. Looking at their 2022 performance, we see that Ryan Blaney is by far the better driver, topping NASCAR.com's driver rating, and being ahead of Kyle Busch in pretty much every single statistic or measurable that they have on their site. When looking at recent finishing position as well on the season, we see that Ryan Blaney has finished ahead of Kyle Busch in 4 straight races and in 5 of the 7 races on the season. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to be alerted every time another NASCAR video gets released. And if you want to tail, or what's probably better advice, fade any of my picks, make sure you head over to FanDuel Sportsbook, where new users can get their first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Good luck on all of your Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 400 wagers, and I'll catch you next week as we preview the Bristol Dirt Race.